advanced copy. Veteran journalist Michael Wolff obtaining extraordinary access to the West Wing. He reports that many on Team Trump, including the candidate himself, thought they would lose, and that campaign manager Kellyanne Conway was actively interviewing for a TV job. Wolff says First Lady Melania Trump did not want her husband to win and was in tears when he did. He also writes that daughter Ivanka discussed with her husband the possibility of running for president herself one day. The White House dismissing it all as trashy tabloid fiction.
So let's bring in Cecilia Vega tonight. And Cecilia, we also listened as the White House was pressed today on how this writer got so much access to the West Wing. It's hard for reporters like you to know these visits occur because the Trump White House doesn't release visitor logs. So how was he granted so much access? And did he, in fact, speak with the president?
Well, David, because we don't have these White House logs, we only have the White House's word to go on. They today told us that this author was at the White House more than a dozen times. 95% of that, they say, was at the request of Steve Bannon. They also concede that this author did have one very brief conversation with President Trump after he was elected. David, the author says that he spoke to more than 200 people, many of them the president's closest aides.
All right, a lot of time spent in the West Wing. Cecilia, thank you. We turn now to that storm slamming into the East Coast. As I mentioned, that track now shifting, which means more snow and hurricane-force winds are possible. Some calling this a winter bomb cyclone. Right now, the storm barreling up the coast, snow and freezing rain in Florida and Georgia, in the mid-Atlantic overnight, and here in the Northeast by morning. Tomorrow's commute will be treacherous. Dangerous conditions already on I-95, a multi-vehicle pileup near Walterboro, South Carolina. At this hour, several states of emergency already. Blizzard warnings in effect. ABC's Steve Osunsami from Georgia now.
The storm they're nicknaming the bomb is shutting down highways, airports, and even cities tonight, turning lives literally upside down from Florida to Maine.
We're asking you, if you don't have to be out here, please don't be out here right now.
Already 17 people have died in the bitter cold, and now this. The roads are so slick in the Carolinas, they're pulling drivers like this one out of ditches. On I-95 tonight, crews are responding to this multi-car pileup.
Everyone is completely freaking out. As you can see, the town's shut down.
In South Georgia, where snowplows are as rare as snowflakes, police report that more than 220 people have been hurt in accidents near Savannah alone. This was our slippery trip there.
It's just ice. We are on top of ice.
This is the most snow this region has seen in nearly 30 years. ABC's Victor Oquendo is in Florida.
Florida Highway Patrol shutting down long stretches of Interstate 10 in both directions because of this. Take a look. The bridges frozen over.
Stacey Pelosi and her husband Vince are trying to fly home to New York, but all flights are canceled, and now the storm is heading to where they need to be.
So thank goodness I overpacked.
In Massachusetts, they're bracing for a nor'easter.
We've bought lots of water. We do have heat in the house, which is great.
Many schools are already closed tomorrow.
Bracing up and down the coast tonight. Steve Osunsami with us live from Savannah. We see that frozen fountain there behind you, Steve, and this ice is already causing power outages tonight.
That's right, David. 50,000 people here in Georgia and Florida are in the dark tonight, and that number is expected to rise as the storm continues to move north. But there's another issue on this end of the storm. All of this ice is expected to melt and then refreeze, which means days of icy roads.
All right,
David,
be careful in the days ahead. Steve, our thanks to you. Let's get right to Ginger Z. The track